Bust it.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform.
Hello and welcome to this edition of our Political Platform. We begin, my name is Uju Ejeye. Don't let me forget my name. Yes, my name is Uju Ejeye, and of course I have my colleagues here. We start with the newspaper reports. Two newspapers reported that President Buhari has kicked off his campaign for the presidency in 2019, appointing the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, as the DG of his campaign office. And we also have another one that the communications minister has disclosed that he is the national chairman board of trustees of the Buhari Osinbajo support group. Well, we don't know how true these are, but like we would always say, there is no smoke without fire, and we will actually find out for you if this is true. And yesterday was not a happy day for a lot of concerned Nigerians. The youths of Benue State took to the streets to protest the killings that have been going on in the last 1 year or more in Benue State, and of course particularly the one that took place on New Year's Day. And in the process, maybe tempers fled when the governor came along, and there was something like an attack, and we hear that about 5 of those youths were shot. And I don't know if that would not even fuel the protests the more, if that is the solution. We also understand that 8 herdsmen were arrested. I will be looking at all of that and trying to make sense. We have a security expert coming on the program, Mike Ejiofor, who will be talking to us in the course of the program. And some papers say nationwide blackout looms as the Transmission Company of Nigeria has reported a systems breakdown. You recall 2 days ago, there was almost a blackout nationwide when fire affected, of course, the equipment of the transmission company. Now they are reporting a systems breakdown. General manager of the company, Ndidimba, disclosed this and said there was a cut in generation from the Odukpani, Ekot Ekpene arm of the generation company, and they can no longer contribute to the national grid. This is worrisome. I mean, we don't want to witness a nationwide blackout. And the Nigerian publisher based in London, who was arrested in his hometown, Nnewi, Daniel Elomba, he was released yesterday, but we're going to be looking at the fact or the allegation that he was arrested by men of SARS. You say SARS again? I don't know. He was arrested by men of SARS for an article that he wrote that did not quite favor the Inspector General of Police. We'll be looking at all of that. I have with me Imeworo Hyomohari.
It's good to be on the platform, even though the issues are not very sweet and delicious to discuss. Talking about whether or not the Buhari campaign machinery has been set up, I think I can confidently say that it is true. Why, you'll ask me? Because I know that there are some APC stalwarts who are already congratulating openly, even on the media. They are already congratulating Amaechi,
the transport minister,
for becoming the DG
DG
again. And they wouldn't come out, and these are very big stalwarts who are friends, personal friends of Amaechi. I know that, and they wouldn't come out on the media to start congratulating him if this was not true. And talking about the Benue killings, I want to say that it's quite unfortunate. This morning I was listening on Ray Power, and the chairman of Mieti Allah in Benue State, denied that his members are part of this. He calls the people, he says they are Fulani, he agrees that they are Fulani people who are attacking, but he calls them cattle rustlers who are attacking these people. But he says they are not his members. We'll talk about that later.
Yes, that also presents another worrisome angle to all of these, because the general belief has been that it's Fulani herdsmen, but you also understand that those who know that these herdsmen have lived with us. I remember when I was a child growing up, we saw them on the streets. At times you could tap the cow if you had the boldness, the courage, and pass. They had not been known, to perpetrate violence, and suddenly this new dimension comes in. So there must be something more to it, and that is why this issue needs to be tackled. Proper investigation, proper intelligence. Let us know who these killers are and deal with them.
Let me just also correct. You said it's about a year ago this thing started. Almost a decade.
No.
Almost a decade.
No. What I was referring to, I know that even the killings in Benue and Nasarawa have been going on for over 10 years. I do know that because I remember about 5 years ago, we had reason to go to Benue and Nasarawa State, over this issue with members of Nigeria's House of the National Assembly. And I am particularly referring to the latest ones that have provoked the protests that these youths embarked on, which is the Agatu killings, the recent killings. That's what I was referring to. Ijoma Osamo, is there Ijoma? How do you feel this morning with all of these not too cheery news?
Yes, Uju, I would like to comment in the two issues, both the Buhari 2019 bid and also the Benue attack. I think what is actually happening in Benue is sad. Because if we have a government in the state and we also have a government, the central government, all in the same party, I expect that peace by now should return to the people of Benue. And talking about what Emery said about the coordinator of Miyetti Allah, I also listened to that interview. He made a statement, and he does not know that that statement alone has even involved the Miyetti Allah. Implicated them. Because he said the people that the fight is between the headers and rustlers, and the people, these people, he called them the vigilante groups that the governor brought out.
He said they are armed robbers.
He said they are armed robbers. That's what he said. Allegedly calling them armed robbers. So they are the ones responsible for what has been happening in Benue State. And he also made a statement. He said cattle are not like chickens. So you don't expect to put cattle in one place. They have to go round. Since the governor brought out the law, that is what he is saying.
And
so
you would recall that last year there was news that they had insisted that they will resist the anti-grazing law. That will fight. They actually threatened. So Miyetti Allah denied it then, but now we are seeing, and from what you have just said,
the man said it openly.
It raises some questions.
Exactly, is the coordinator in Benue State, and that was exactly what he said. I was driving into the office when I listened to him talking. I said, and I liked what the spokesman of the governor also said, that if this man feels he knows those people, let them bring them out, because
in fact he should see the security agencies.
And he called on the federal government to get them arrested, especially the president of that group. I am not saying they are the ones doing it, but I am quoting one of them who said so on our radio program this morning. And on the issue of 2019 Buhari campaign bid, it's funny because I don't know if it's in the law, because I've not read. Yes, do you know why I said it's funny? I also listened to one of the interviews with the spokesman of the president yesterday on our sister station.
Even this morning on Kakaki.
Yes, and the man made it clear that Buhari has not announced, has not appointed. And if you look at what he has said, and also marry it to what we see, I don't know if it's in the law, because I've not read anything like that in our electoral laws, that an aspirant cannot have a campaign director. It is a candidate that appoints a campaign team. That was exactly what he said. And if you look at it that way, that means he is trying to protect his master.
Ijoma, Imewere made a very key point here. He says, friends of the transport minister are already congratulating him in the media with even paid adverts. And that raises some eyebrows, if I should put it that way, because there is no smoke without fire.
Yes,
how would
definitely.
they begin to congratulate him if such a thing does not exist? I think these
I still think, because in the kind of job I do as a journalist, I see this as a mere statement until I get a statement written and signed that this man has been appointed.
Evidence, facts.
Evidence to back it. So whatever the newspaper people, wherever they got their statements from, I have not received it.
Or the paid adverts, wherever the paid adverts are coming from.
As a political correspondent here in this station, I have not received it. Neither have you seen anyone too. I don't even think Emewore has seen a statement saying that the transport minister has been appointed.
No.
Let's just see that as a rumor.
No, of course, that's why I said it's neither here nor there, but there's no smoke without fire. And let's see if that smoke will translate to real
well, the truth about it is that I don't think it should be an issue so much, because Buhari has a right to be aspiring to be president again.
No, he does have a right in Emewore,
just like 180 million Nigerians have rights.
You would also like to look at the timing, at a time that a lot of Nigerians are in pain because of the killings on New Year's Day. Look at from Port Harcourt to Kaduna to Kwara State to Benue, and then the killings of or alleged killings of the youths yesterday. I do not think it's the right time to announce such a thing, but then every man has his right to aspire. Well, if it is true, and if it's not true, we will find out.
It is not announced.
I think we need to go to our mails.
It is not announced. It's still a rumor.
Exactly. we will go to our mails now and find out what our listeners are saying to us.
Hello and welcome to the mail segment. I am Usai Tinyari.
And I am Chidinma Enyi. You're welcome.
We begin with reactions to the Benue killings. Adams Amana in Abuja says, how many more to die? The mail reads, any government that cannot protect its citizens is deemed to have failed. This has been one death or killings too many. One of the major challenges in Nigeria is saddled with, especially in the last decade since the cruel invasion of Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen, is security. Government is supposed to be proactive and not reactive, as it has been with this administration. Concrete and pragmatic steps ought to have been taken to curtail, if possible, nip in the bud the menace of wanton killings and shedding of innocent blood in Benue, Plateau, Kaduna, Cross Rivers, Borno, Adamawa, to mention but a few. For how long will this impunity continue, where the citizens are no longer safe in their country, yet government treats with levity these grave and dangerous trends of killings going on in the country? Enough of the rhetoric. Human life is sacred. Safeguarding and protecting it should be the priority of the government. There can be no better development without security.
Still on reactions to Benue killings, Kefas Sunday Kuku in Abuja says, it is sad that the lives of Nigerians do not have any iota of value to some people. Also sad is the fact that some of the leaders we used our voters' card to vote into office just went there to enrich themselves and nothing more. Why should the governor of Benue State just sit there and allow his people to be killed always by the Fulani herdsmen, doing nothing serious to defend them? Is it that as the chief security officer of the state, he doesn't know how to defend his people? Or is there something he is gaining from the killing of his people by these heartless Fulanis? How can a governor be as docile as he is, for God's sake? My heartfelt condolence to the people of Benue State and Nigerians at large. May God help us in this country.
More reactions. Nnaemeka Anufaro in Abuja says, the recent incident in Rivers, Kaduna and the one in Benue has shown clearly that the government has a lot of work to do in the area of security. There is urgent need for a clear policy and strategy from the government to avoid such incidents. The government should not stop only at condemning these acts, but put to work mechanisms that guarantee safety of lives and property. This explains exactly why many Nigerians were not excited by the president's New Year message, as he failed to address some very pertinent issues, like the herdsmen-farmer clashes all over the country in his New Year address. Against this backdrop, the Benue State government should not wait for the slow response of the federal government, but should rather engage experts and work out mechanisms and programs that will support cattle breeders who embrace ranching. By taking taking advantage of the abundant water from Benue River, providing incentives and technical support for the production of fodders. A value chain will be created, which will in turn provide employment for producers of fodders and also tax revenue for the state. We can teach these breeders the new way of doing farming. This makes it a win-win for all of us, as it will encourage other herders all over the country to embrace ranching. By doing this, money that would have been used in procuring arms and equipment for the army will be used in creating job and peace for Benue citizens at the same time. In conclusion, I want to call on the people of Benue, especially the youths, to exercise restraint while urging the federal government to be responsive and show that it cares for the lives of every Nigerian, irrespective of where you come from.
And that's it on today's mail segment. Do keep your mails coming. It's politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
You heard it. A lot of our listeners are not happy about what is going on in Benue and other parts of the country, the state of insecurity. And we also want you to know that yesterday the President Muhammadu Buhari commiserated with the people of Benue State, the governor particularly, and of course he gave marching orders to security operatives to fish out and deal with perpetrators. And I guess by now they would have got to work. Like we told you, 5 protesters were allegedly shot dead. We have with us on the line now the security expert, Mike Ejiofor, and he will be talking to us on the program. But I think we are having a bit of problem right now. We'll get back to him. We will get back to him in a moment. And of course, a lot of people have said that this is a worrisome situation. This is a worrisome situation that we need to look into. And if this trend continues, it may push people to begin to take measures to protect themselves, which may not augur well for the country. Hello, we have Mr. Ejiofor back now. Mr. Ejiofor, what is going on, particularly in the last 3 days, and the protest in Benue State yesterday that led to the alleged killing of 5 youths? Would you not say that this is a very worrisome development?
It's not only worrisome, but very, very disturbing. Very, very disturbing, really. The situation, we will start a new year with this kind of massacre and killing all over the country. We have the issue in Rivers, we have in Benue, we have in Kaduna, everywhere. It's very, very disturbing. And these are signs of the time to come. In Benue particularly, I am very disturbed because this thing has now, there's a trend. It has continued unabated. And I think the earlier the government comes out strongly, make a statement to take this menace, the better for all of us.
Yesterday, the president gave marching orders to security operatives, even as he commiserated with the people of Benue State. But of course, there are other areas in Nigeria. And 2 days ago, he also commiserated with those people, those areas. But do you think that this is enough? People are saying that his body language has not really condemned the alleged perpetrations by Fulani herdsmen.
Well, this issue of body language, is I don't understand it. That a particular crime is associated with a particular ethnic group, and nothing seems to be done decisively. That would not be the fault of the president, because he's a Fulani man. But like Nigeria, we interpret a lot. But I believe that our security agencies must be up in their game. In fact, the president needs to rejig the security architecture, because we seem to be failing in all fields. things have started, and we are going to expect more challenges, more security. I am worried. I'm very, very disturbed with that security situation we have in this country because it's going to escalate this year.
Would you say that the security agencies are overwhelmed right now? And if they're overwhelmed, why and what can be done?
Well, I wouldn't say they're overwhelmed, but the situation will continue to record massacre in huge numbers unchecked, then there must be something wrong. And the only person that can address that is Mr. President. And you know, this issue in Benue in particular escalated after the passing into law of the grazing bill. It was as if to say, look, we cannot obey the law. And we are able to do that. We can take on government.
Mike Ejiofor,
Very, very dangerous.
Mike Ejiofor, as a security analyst, you just mentioned the fact that the president needs to rejig his security team. Now, looking at allegations coming even from government, I mean, listening to the chief press secretary, to the Benue State governor today, he says that he believes that the security itself, security agencies themselves have been compromised. What's your own analysis of that statement, considering the situation?
I don't share that, except he has proof that the security agencies have been compromised. I don't know how they could be, or who compromised them. So I don't need to talk on issues I don't have facts on. If you say the security agencies have been compromised, you should be able to tell us who compromised them and why.
Okay, what do you also make of allegations that in most of these cases, people had information and they passed the information to the security operatives, and yet nothing was done to stop the attacks?
Well, that might not be entirely correct, because if you make a report, you are making a report to a particular authority. So if they fail to act, you should be able to go to a higher authority to say, yes, we made a report on this and no action was taken. From then, I think the government or the higher authority will be able to take a decision. But I just feel that we don't have sufficient information and cooperation from members of the public. That is why these things will continue to escalate. And it's very, very ominous now that we are going to election. I am very worried and concerned, especially as we are going to election in 2019.
With the spate of attacks, with the frequency with which is occurring right now and the threat posed to the lives of citizens, do you foresee a situation or a time when citizens would not take it into their hands to protect themselves, and would that not lead to anarchy?
Of course, you saw what happened in Benue yesterday, in Makurdi precisely. A time will come, people will take laws into their hands, and that will lead to anarchy. I believe the president in particular should not just issuing a statement, but to say to be taking decisive action to stop this massacre. It's one too many now. It's becoming too many and very disturbing. Lives are wasted. People's lives are just being wasted for no reason. In fact, I have some argument with my friend. They say we should not call this Fulani headsmen. To some extent, I agree that some of them are not Fulani headsmen. Some of these are actually political, because you recall that it's not only the Fulani headsmen. Some of these people are just gunmen. I give you an example. Like when I was kidnapped, when the real Fulani headsmen with the heads see the gunmen, they run away and leave their cow. So it goes beyond the Fulani headsmen. But that it was also obvious from the fact that some of the majority of these people are Fulanis because they are armed. So it's a contradiction that government needs to address. Government needs to identify the perpetrators of this crime and bring them to book. It's not impossible that some of these people carrying this attack are fleeing Boko Haram because of the pressure put on them in the northeast. They are scattered. Even the attacks from Boko Haram is increasing. We must admit that we have challenges.
Mike Ejiofor, I was going to ask. I mean, just you've mentioned some points which were related to the question I was going to ask. Looking at the way and manner these people attack, and the way and manner Boko Haram attacks, don't you see some similarities in their method of attacks?
Come again.
I said the way and manner Boko Haram attack people in the far northeast and the way and manner these so-called Fulani herdsmen or gunmen attack. Don't you see some similarities? Because you have talked about these may be people running from the north. But the way and manner they attack, don't you see some similarities in the methods?
There are similarities in the patterns of attack.
Exactly.
They take people by surprise. But like in the northeast, the core northeast, in Borno, for instance, they have now come up initially they abandoned this issue of suicide bombing. But suicide bombing is upcoming again. But in the Benue Axis, the Middle Belt, and Ondo, all those areas, the attacks are also by surprise. But they don't come with it. They just come, attack, kill people. You remember what happened?
And well coordinated too.
Very well coordinated. And the security agencies, the police, the army, hardly arrest made until yesterday the president said this people must be brought to book and 8 people were arrested. I just want to believe that these 8 suspects are the right people that can provide leads to further investigation and possibly make a headway in getting to the root of this matter.
Well, we would like to thank you very much. We've totally run out of time. We hope to speak with you again very soon. We hope not on sad events, but at least looking for ways out of this situation. Thank you very much for speaking with us on Political Platform, Mike Ejiofor, security expert and former director of the SSS.
Please let me just make this statement. I think we have the government needs to be careful about handling these issues because there are so many allegations pointing to the Fulani herdsmen. And if at the end of the day you go pick them, arrest them, there might be a reprisal from their side, and that may not be too good for the country.
Well, I believe that the security operatives would do their work. They know how to do their work if they are, really ready to do it, because we've seen when they swing into action, they do it. They do it very well. Well, this is where we round up the program. Thank you for always being there. Join us again tomorrow, 9:15, Political Platform. My name is Uju Ejiofor. You do have a fine day.
Bust it.